going to be kickstarting things on Anubis, so it's going to be pretty spicy. I think we can get the show on the road just now. And, well, I think it's safe to say this one's going to... Just like that. I think we are ready to go. There we go. Pistol round started. Flash is coming in. They're already flying out on towards the site.
Yeah, absolutely. Speedy as you like. Moving in. The bomb flying across. Gonna get that planted in a few seconds here. Will indeed get it down. Meanwhile, Dobu with the double flashes. There's some nades out for Fury as well. Got to see these find success. They've got retake nades on Eruption by the looks of things. We'll get it down onto that B main area. Oh, through the smoke though. X-Pro just keeps his line and it keeps solid. The flash is a little off, a little dodgy. The Glock's up close, looking very, very strong indeed. Then, oh no. Everybody falling. Fury, the last one remaining. The only one to break the silence there for the CT side. Theory, brilliant. Execution, not so much for Eruption.
Yeah, bit of a massacre there, I gotta say as well. The Glock's doing some great work. The Lynn Vision just do what Lynn Vision do sometimes. Hold W, and it works wonders. Immediate attack pause called here. I mean, I think for Eruption, they may have came into this thinking that, you know, we've upset IHC, which do exactly the same to Lynn Vision. And, well, not exactly the dream start for them as well. So, very interesting. Now, I've had the chance to cast a fairly decent amount of Anubis, actually, over the last couple of weeks. Of course, I was on conference last week, so were you, but we were, you know, on different sides of the bracket. But fortunately, on my side of the bracket, we got a lot of Anubis coming through. I think I got to cover it, you know, 4 different, you know, separate series. So I've had a decent amount of a look at it now. And of course, you've seen it at Blast in the latter stages of 2022. From what I've seen so far, to me, Anubis seems to lean relatively favorably over towards the T side. I think, obviously, it's quite early to make calls on that right now. And of course, the stats as well. There's not exactly a lot of data to go off. And that's definitely a miss smoke as well, to see it plumed above mid. But for me, so far, it does sort of seem to be T-sided, or at least a little bit more lent in that favor.
Seems to be the case. Charging in towards this A-bomb site, though. Lynn Vision just testing the water over here. Do need to be careful. It's one of the most open bomb sites in the game right now, to be honest, and there's so many different angles that they could come creeping in from. However, they're all just moving through the choke point at this time, and they will indeed get dealt with pretty quickly. Coolest inside the smoke. Good for one. That's all he's good for, though, and it will be another round going the way of Lynn Vision.
Yeah, he'll happily take the one, but unfortunately, of course, that is that's what he has to work with. It's sort of an expected round coming through from Lynn Vision. Second on the board for them. And overall, no, we get to say, you know, things are looking on the up. They're looking a little bit better for this T-Tide, a little bit more secure. We've seen them struggle in that previous series against those like mixed buys of the Deagles where they're falling flat or maybe being a little bit too overconfident. Good that they're a bit calm, composed, at a time to take a breather in the 45 minutes between game number 1 and 2. And hey, they're looking really good right now. This should be pretty clear. A little bit messy into the choke point that is the B site. The bomb should go down just momentarily.
One plank coming in. No one really able to deny here. Dobu backing away, maybe going to go all the way around and try and find himself a gun. I think X-Pro has heard him running away, though, so it does have the idea here, the game plan here. Kind of making us wait for it, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
So, you know, a little cheeky.
Very, very slow kind of wrap coming back around as well. Just hunting for this last guy. I don't think it's even really a necessity as well. And he might not know, but Dobu has nothing really to bring to the table. Just the USPS. And he isn't going to catch him. Dobu will stay alive. He will keep hold of, well, nothing. There's nothing brought in. And just like that, we're going to see a third. Already a decent start for Lynn Vision. 3-0 on their T side. Dobu does fall as well in the latter stages. Doesn't really make a difference, as you mentioned. He didn't invest into anything. So, all in all, not too bad. Of course, full investment coming through now for the CT side. An AWP in the hands of Yami. And we know what this guy can do with it. And a double warp, in fact. As Coolest as well. We'll invest into one. So, already a double warp setup. Round number 4 of Anubis. This is very spicy. Not often you see something like that. I'm interested to see how this pans out.
Yeah, really just kind of slow move from Lynn Vision. I think they've heard and they've obviously seen the rumors around Eruption, so they are looking to play it safe to start with. Execute coming out from them towards middle. The mid control, very important indeed. Going to go running through the smoke, and it's a hard fight for both sides of the equation, but the 1-for-1 is so valuable, man. You get that mid control, and so far we're seeing how important it can be. Yami, though, holding down with the AWP here, going to drop the bomb right at his feet. And Coolest on the double AWP looking pretty damn solid as well. Nice trade found from X-Pro. And another one picked up by Zaka. Suddenly the A bomb site looks very vulnerable, but like I say, that bomb is down in the hands of the CT side. And well read from Zaka that there'd be someone around. Might have heard a few footsteps through his teammate. Meanwhile, well, the flank, it was perfect, wasn't it, if they went to the A bomb site? Unfortunately, they go and B.
1 versus 3. 2, in fact, even. X-Pro, that low HP is going to be, I mean, a little bit of a difference maker. It might even actually just be the save core here, right? I think, you know, if that all tick it over, a little bit more important. The idea, once again, nice, but I think just unfortunately, Eruption aren't reading into this all too well. Not for now, anyway. AWP saving over. Might be able to get one on exit, but I don't think realistically it's going to be too much of a priority. Just hope he can tuck himself in towards the corner and see this AWP over in towards the next, and then kind of drop one over to maybe the likes of Coolest. Apparently he had a bit of a stunning game in towards that first series. He was a standout performer, the MVP overall against IHC. But so far, it's a different beast. Lynn Vision, of course, who beat IHC in the ESL Challenger League Season 43 finals, the best of 5. Went all 5 when it was a very, very, very close affair, but Lynn Vision were able to just top it off. Of course, they had a map advantage too, through being through that upper bracket. So maybe that did help out. But either way, we've seen some really good work coming through from Lynn Vision. And kind of recently, it was just earlier today, they were a little bit shaky. And kind of as we were saying, they sort of look beatable. I think Renewal get very unfortunate. There's a world definitely as well in which that Renewal took that 2-0. And you see both IHC and Lynn Vision in the lower bracket, which is kind of crazy. But not to be, they're in the upper bracket final now.
Yeah, we'll see here. Shinobi hidden away on the A-bomb site, looking just for a quick pick on that 5-7. Can be deadly. There's also another player stacked on top of him. Looked scary for a minute, but not quite. They will manage to evenly trade into the bomb site then. However, the open plant does get punished. 2 versus 2. Flank is in. Yami on a great angle, just baiting out for Coolest, and all of a sudden the round's falling apart. Lynn Vision about to lose it against minimal investment. Amelia needs to find a way in here. Spots out the AK. I just can't find the head, though. Yami around these pillars. You know, it is so very awkward. Flash comes in. Coolest not going to be blinded off it. They're both trained so heavily onto this angle. Just trying to get one to overface. Not going to happen at all. Big, big round from Eruption picked up.
Yeah, I mean, sort of desperately needed as well, right? We were looking over towards that side and thinking there's definitely a world in which this could start to quite considerably fall away from them super quickly, right? You know, they take that. We're looking at Lynn Vision getting 5, 6 before there's a real kind of answer back coming through from Eruption, and already by then things do start to slip away and get it sort of extremely concerning, right? So already just a little bit more confidence under their belt, which is something that we really do like to see for Eruption. It's a world now in which they can start to make a little bit of a comeback of their own. It's already, look at this space that Starry's created. He's getting close and personal. He might even decide to push through the smoke, but it'd be met with a nade.
Starry working around the lower area here. In towards E-Box, the most controversial call on the map. I know a lot of people want to call it connector, but there's about 3 of those on this map, so not the best call out in the world. Still working it out, of course, but either way, no action seen from either side yet.
Very slow, cool, calm, collected. Take a pop shot there. It's a freebie. Nade in hand, Yami will fall. This gets really dicey now. Just one tucked into his close position, and it's a quick trade for Starry as he buys some space.
Yep, Dobu in towards Glyphs, trying to hold strong here. Only good for the 1, not enough. Ah, man, and you know, the force buy worked for them, I think, mainly because they were stacking towards the A side of things, I guess. Once the rifles are in play, though, Lynn Vision looks so warm. They've just played a much faster, harder game of Counter-Strike. Eruption, for all their credit, on the upset. was only 2 maps. They weren't super duper close. So Lynn Vision have played the high octane Counter-Strike all day long, and they continue the trend here.
This is looking like the that T-side Lynn Vision who are able to just be so dominant, take so much control over the sort of the tempo and the pace of the game, and in a weird way, we never really saw that comfortably over towards our previous series. And again, like we were saying, I think the credit has to go to Renewal for that. They were so competitive when no one really expected them to be. I think everybody would have lent in favor quite comfortably of Lynn Vision, but now the side, I gotta say, looking like the side we know and love, not that previous series where they were a bit of a shadow of their former selves or a shadow of the latter stages of 2022 by any means. Because of course now, and this is a conversation we're having quite a lot in towards the previous series, with no Ty Lue really anymore and Rare Atom sort of falling out of obscurity, there's sort of a gap at the top, right? And there's a real claim for the throne starting to come now in towards the Asia division. Is it them? By them, I mean Lynn Vision or IHC, who are kind of the best in the region. It's been sort of back and forth between the two sides of who is the best. You know, Lynn Vision take ESL Challenger League, but then IHC represented the major, so it's always been so close.
Oh, Flash is good, but little mistimed. Still working some things out, aren't they, on the Lynn Vision side? It is much improved, though, as far as I'm aware. They had a pretty dreadful first showing on Anubis.
Right.
So, a 12-3 against Rare Atom, T-side, and they, once again, according to T-Time, I'll give him the shout-outs for this. He's giving us some good info. They just got ruined. You know, they had no idea what they were doing.
It happens.
Essentially. He's a bit of a savage as our T-Time. Speaking of savages, it's Yami to find 2. Needs a little more. 3-on-3. Amelia not checking angles. Shinobi traded out quickly, though. So back and forth it goes. MP9 thinking about it, but decides against it, and they will move to save, or are they moving to rotate around? They're going to rotate around and give it a go from streets, but I don't know, man. It's pretty open over here. The MP9, no range to work with. They're going to let the 2 players in. Westmelon, meanwhile, gains a lot of information. They can hear one, but not the other. Dobu running in. The AWP coming in silently. Dobu goes down. The AWP, come on now. 2 separate angles. Surely not a hope in hell, and indeed will go down. 6-1. Lynn Vision storming ahead.
Needed basically sort of a back-to-back no-scope there. 180, head on the swivel. Arguably would have been one of the plays of, I don't know, ever. I mean, it's not happening. Not happening. Probably would have been the best play we've seen so far on Anubis since it's been released into the pool. So, not to be expected. And Lynn Vision, hey, man, they are starting to run away with things. When you consider as well about apparently how strong Eruption looked against IHC earlier today, this is as one-sided, and it carries on to be as one-sided as it is looking right now. Maybe there's an argument to be made that after all of this, with the kind of the benefit of hindsight, what we really have to look into is how weak IHC's Anubis is. Maybe that was the issue. That was the problem more than anything. And that was just, a colossal upset. Of course, that was a 2-0. So Eruption they were able to look consistent across both maps, 16-12, 16-13. So pretty decent results, pretty close. Of course, we had some extremely close first series here. 16-14, both map 1 and 2. And then I went a fair whack of the distance on towards our third and final decider 2 of Nuke. So, Lynn Vision, they've already had a long start to their day. And this one could maybe be a little bit more of the same, but they're warmed up now. As you can see, Dobu, just get out of dodge.
Might hit the nade on his way out if he's not careful, but yeah, all good. Like I said, that mid area, really, really key in terms of the control. Meanwhile, this is what we were sort of alluding to, this play around catwalk, maybe we call it. Down towards canals, down towards E-box. Keeping control of that area just essentially locks the CTs into that bomb site. Either that or they have to back off into the areas where you can't really defend it that well. So I think it's looking like if you get control of that area early, it's kind of a guaranteed B site or B bomb plan, particularly against a buy like this. I'm not quite sure what is going on with the money. We keep getting random rifles bought up by Eruption.
It's like, we had a lot of this for Lynn Vision towards that first series. It would be like, they got 2k left in the bank, or, one person's maybe got like 2,750 and they just buy into an AK. And you're like, just kind of think to yourself, why? Like, oh, hang on though. The CT side, making a good go at this. 35k. too quick, the eagle shots. This could be messy. This could be very messy. Only 2 remain alive now.
Yeah, this is not looking good. There's a kit down as well, or in the hands of Yami, I should. Oh, say Westmelon.
Oh
Even if he found that one, he was going to get traded. Fury, crisp as you like on it with the 4K. Defuse easily coming in. I mean, without the kit, it would have been close, but that's why they went for it, because they had a kit available. Eruption then, winning out the force buys pretty consistently. Lynn Vision are dropping some silly rounds here.
Yeah, they are. I mean, this for Lynn Vision is already where we kind of saw these rookie mistakes start to kind of, I don't know, maybe cause problems later down the line. I think, you know, for me, the only real issues that I saw for Lynn Vision, while they weren't maybe as dominant or, you know, as highly competitive as they usually are, I think the main thing that I hope they kind of get rid of coming towards this is just the things where they're like making very weird decisions in terms of their buys. And, well, that's not a great flash either, but, you know, just the slight mistakes. That one there, overextensions were very costly. Question is, do they even expect Westmelon? The answer's no. Crab walking his way in the water. Deletes coolest.
Coolest going to drop. Flash. Ineffective. Ineffective. Oh, down towards middle. Meanwhile, we've got a big scrap here. Dobie was trying to get a smoke off before going down. Not going to happen. 2-man mid control is terrifying. The bomb making its way there. They're going to split on towards A here. Molly comes in. Not in good enough timing, though, unfortunately. All the heads go in the way of Lynn Vision. And yeah, I don't know, man. They're struggling against the force buys. I think that's, again, just because Eruption play really confident, really aggressive, really unpredictably. But once the rifles come in, the sort of normal rounds, Lynn Vision are just running rings around them.
This has been one of those things where for Lynn Vision, it's just looking dominant. Fury, I think, you know, also as well, when we've seen success come through, actually, for Eruption, it has been off the back of individuals really stepping up, like that Eruption, the Fury 5 or 4K, I say. Fury 5K getting 4K. But overall, it's not been, you know, consistent fragging across the board, and you can kind of see there, right? You know, there's a couple of players lagging behind. Shinobi, interesting enough, being one of them. He was someone who, you know, you highlighted coming towards this series, and someone who we've seen in previous iterations of ESL Challenge League Asia Division has been, yeah, pretty good, right? I mean, I think he's quite the notable fragger on his day. He can really step up with the rifle. Great in terms of supporting util as well. But right now, having a bit of a quiet one. Only really seeing standouts from the likes of Fury. Coolest has had the moments. Of course, when Coolest is no longer in play, you do get a little bit concerned. He is the impact fragger over towards Eruption. Quite the gap being built up too. This kind of continues to lean on this trend that Anubis is looking T-sided. It's looking like it leans quite heavily in that favor. So I'm not really going to count out Eruption at all just yet, because for me, this is still seen to be quite the T-sided map. We'll have to wait and see. Not a bad start. Zaka overextends, gets picked.
Double up setup seems to be Eruption's thing as well, and open eye the bomb site seems to be pretty popular with them, and you can see why. Allows them to go for the contact picks and fight aggression with aggression so far. I think it's a very good read, actually, because Lynn Vision have just sent, you know, an individual into a bomb site, bang, bang, right? They just find quick headies, or they find even trades, and even trades on this map, I think, is the big thing that makes it T-sided. Once you lose control of mid, it's like the round's over. A is usually not defended very well, so, you know, no one knows how to play retakes just yet, because it's still very new. Kind of like, you know, when we all said, like, A on Ancient is unretakeable.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. So there's a few edits that definitely need to come in, but look at this. The double up setup, when there's pillars in play as well, right? There's a lot of pillars on this map. They are so hard to take AWPs and trade them when the angles are not straight and square, you know, when they're more rotund.
Rotund.
Yep.
Like
yeah, I think that's the word.
I like that.
Don't know,
man. Either way, I mean, this is I'm still leaning it and saying for Lynn Vision it's been relatively convincing so far, but I think it's spot on. I think that double setup actually has a lot of viabilities behind it. I do wonder whether we're going to see the same thing over towards Lynn Vision. While he doesn't do it often, I know Starry is pretty deadly with an AWP in his hands. Obviously, primarily, may I say, just a rifler and very good with it, but he's pretty scary when he picks himself up in towards the old AWP. Will it be something that we see kind of matched and mirrored by Lynn Vision when they go towards the CT side? So far, we've barely even really seen the AWP in play for the T side, and well, when Zach has had it, he hasn't had too much impact.
A lot of presence on the A-bomb side. They seem to be reading into something here. Nice trade does come through, but again, as said, those 1-for-1 trades, pretty advantageous for the T side. So I still am kind of apprehensive about a 3-man. Oh, hold on. They need to train this AWP pretty quickly. They do so indeed. I was going to say Coolest maybe had an opportunity there to pull the round back. Oh, Yami's not being spotted crossing, sorry. He is indeed going to go for it now. X-Pro running rings around him once again. Will go down to Fury. So it's all on to Starry. X-Pro is trying to find a pick into it. Gave his life away. Leaves Starry in the dirt and will indeed fall. Eruption up to 4. Looking pretty good. And these CT rounds, as we said, are pretty valuable. They'll get the double orbs back once again. Lynn Vision have hit a brick wall.
Now it's getting to a point where you got to lean the other way. Because his map is generally lent in favor of that T side, if we see kind of the other way, or if we look over towards that CT side, and if they're able to put up a pretty even first half, right, we're saying, okay, maybe actually for Eruption, it might be enough. It might be, you know, a bit of comfortability on our side at the very least, where we can say, okay, maybe they're enough to kind of lay the foundations, and then heading on towards the arguably more favorable T side, they can run away with things. I mean, it's still very early doors, but so far they're starting to get within an arm's reach just a tad. And I think you look over towards Lynn Vision and thinking, how these guys are going to change their fate a little bit. Right now, not looking too good. And of course, just pistols in towards this one. It should be up to a 5th, and Coolest open things up.
Oh, that's unlucky. Amelia will actually manage to find 2 off the back of that, so hold the phone a second. The AWP doesn't care that you're low HP, but thankfully Fury is in to make sure the trades happen. X-Pro's found an AWP, though. They go peeking back in, a little confident on the left side. Doesn't happen, and Eruption will hit 5.
I mean, they made it expensive. I got to give him the flowers there. Amelia's double with a Tech 9. Fair play. Fair play indeed. But of course, it is them now in reaching distance. 2 rounds, the gap, the deficit. And it was looking like at one point we were going to start talking about maybe even double digits for Lynn Vision before the half. And of course, not anymore. I just feel like they haven't really got it in them. They sort of started to look a little bit shaky. Now, of course, you know, a pause being called, and for them a conversation to be had about what's going wrong in these last few rounds. And I think when it comes down to it, ultimately, it's just their inability to deal with the AWPers. Both AWPers started to find, you know, a really good amount of impact. And when I was calling upon it earlier, saying, you know, the likes of Coolest maybe not as dominant as he was towards the previous series. Now, once again, as he did against IHC, Coolest is starting to do what he does best, deliver. And Yami, while he's not actually been called upon that often, when he is, he also finds his picks as well. This double up setup has been a scary foe to deal with. And they're getting so much money on towards that CT side that even if one was to fall, they can still invest in towards another.
That lower control once again coming in. And it really does, you know, kind of scare the CT side. You can see they've gone back to that. Clearly what they must have talked about in these timeouts. Trace is followed, though. Dobu's got a lot of room to work with there, and he will take down X-Pro pretty easily. No real sweat off the brow for that one. Oh, big nade as well. Love a big nade.
It's dicey. It really is. The Molotov keeps that bay for just a tad, and the smoke as well really isolates his fight. Back out here, Shinobi waiting for it. This does get all the more uncomfortable as Amelia stuck kind of on a lonesome here.
Molotov goes down, trying to time it with the nades there, but didn't really work out. The smoke ends up dousing it, and look what an effect it's had. Westmelon ready to go, and he finds 2. Starry also chimes in. Amelia holding strong from main. Brilliant stuff. Great little execute on the edge of the smokes there. Coolest the only one here, and honestly, I think you save. I think if he goes for this, there's going to be no cash available for a healthy buy, but feels like he's got to fight his way out. Not going to happen. Misses the shot, taken down. It's an AWP recovered as well to boot, so Lynn Vision looking pretty good to hit double digits.
A save would have been great there. I mean, it really would have given them, just a little bit more confidence to work with. And of course, now an AWP play for Zaka, scooped up. We haven't really seen him have the impact with the AWP that we would have hoped. But hey, it is a good opportunity. Penultimate round of the half too. And of course, Lynn Vision guaranteeing themselves a lead at the half is a really good thing to see. They had back-to-back 8-7 halves in Vision. They're opening 2 maps of the previous series. So they're They're used to it by all means of the case. Coolest. 2 missed shots, and he will get punished. Amelia, great triple entry from her.
Absolutely massive stuff. Fury does find one with the CZ, but that's going to be that. Easy peasy does it. And that was, like you say, off the back of the force buy. Now they'll go into another force buy that's really not going to be great. So Lynn Vision looking likely to hit the double digits. And like we have both said, that save really could have made the difference. But Anubis is, I suppose, a harder map to save on at the moment.
Yeah, agreed.
Nonetheless, Lynn Vision looking much improved from their last showing on this map.
They are. I gotta say, I'm impressed. I'm liking the work we're seeing here. Lynn Vision, they just look just a little bit more, I don't know, calmer and more deadly the way they did. 5-7 this close can be a problem. Not cleared. Fury nearly getting 2. Only walking away with the 1. Shinobi, your step up as well. The pistol's being put in their place now. Starry with the bomb. Where are you going?
What is happening these past few rounds? Absolutely no idea on that one. But yeah, Lynn Vision going to hit the double digits and I guess do so mostly cleanly. Really solid first half from them. I'm interested to see how the second one goes down.
See you after the break. Welcome back. We are straight underway into the second half. And hey, it's safe to say, 10-5, not too bad.
Yeah, absolutely, but it's going to be a bloodbath in towards middle. We've got no time dwelling on the previous half. They're into this one. They're absolutely after it, especially Eruption. The battle at middle just about goes their way, despite Expro on the 3K, which is absolutely insane in such close quarters combat. He must have been hitting some crazy ones. Westmelon left with it all to do then, and I think he's a bit too far away from the action to immediately trade onto them, right? It's going to be very difficult. They're waiting for him to come from a flank or something like that. So we've gone from craziness at the start all the way down to a very temperate looking T side in particular. They're not going anywhere right now.
Very slow. Very slow. 2 versus 1. Still a position looking over towards Shinobi. What can this guy do to make the difference? Looking for something. Bomb in hand. I mean, this is a really, really hard position to try and find some success from.
Yeah, super scary. Really super scary. I mean, he's just miles away at this point. Surely you would say not going to happen. I don't think there's a kit down anywhere. And again, just walking in, trying not to give the game away. He was hoping that he'd guess the right bomb site with A, but unfortunately not. So there's going to be a good 20 seconds or so, if not more, already gone by the time he even shows himself. 2 insanely fast headshots required here from Westmelon, and I build it up, but they will knock him down. Eruption finding the pistol and picking up 6.
Whew. It's getting to a position where, once again, you've got to feel a little bit nervy. We've definitely seen some... Oh, I mean, we've seen some really good work come through from Envision, but it's never been fully convincing today. They've always looked at times a little bit shaken, or, I mean, at the very least, beatable. That's probably one way to put it too. So you do get a little bit concerned that maybe there's a world in which we can see a bit of a comeback coming the other way. I mean, it's going to take a lot of work to do so. How are we going to turn this on his favor? I mean, for Eruption, they've still got quite the mountain to climb. 4 rounds is the deficit. I mean, it definitely is still doable.
Nades up and over. Flash round. Really patient play here from Eruption. Not wanting to drop any of these rounds. Realize how valuable they all are. X-Pro with the mid stack is going to find one. They're immediately going to back off. The value of these force buys and half buys and whatnot can be really, really high on this map. Especially in a position where they're at, where they are going for the early rifle buy, actually. A lot of noise being made as they start to rotate towards B. It was Westmelon to drop there, going for an aggressive play.
Oh, well, X-Pro going to fall. I mean, unfortunately, these pistols not really coming up to too much. Not really at least being competitive in the way they would have hoped to. Get a couple of kills on the way out, maybe. But no, not to be. Dobie will see it off very, very comfortably. And hey, well, just like that, he's going to be a position where Eruption see that one off with no real problems at all. Not exactly like it was any risk to them or ever going to be too much of a worry. So, 10-7. Now a full bite has come out for Lynn Vision. How do they adjust to this? How do they try and find some success going forward? It's going to be difficult, but the CT side has always been, it quite seems, a bit of a tough beast to tame on Anubis, right? It's very hard to get reads into your opponent, and it's so easy for you to be flanked. We might have a reset here, it seems. Everyone's kind of falling back. No one's taking any damage or whatever. You may have a full round reset coming. It looks like some sort of error of some sort. I'm not really too sure.
Yep, just wanting things to straighten out on the server here. So I think, yeah, they kind of called a tech pause a little bit late, unfortunately. And indeed, we will require a restore here. So just bear with while that plays out, of course. Can take a minute or two for that to happen. But hopefully should be back into the action quickly. You know, they're always... it is a bit of a shame, the sort of connection issues that can come through a little bit.
Yeah.
Out in the Asian region. Such a massive part of the world, so, you know, it kind of makes sense. But here we go, the match medic, all good. You see these all the time back in my day, but you very rarely see a medic come through like that these days.
Well, I think it's a little bit of a tech pause. Hopefully, we can get this this back underway, and then things can get on the road and all of the good stuff. I mean, so far we have seen still some very, very good work coming out from Lynn Vision. We haven't seen them what they're like though. CT side full buy when they get to kind of really flex what they can. I think the CT side, like we were saying, it's very difficult to make this comfortable. I haven't seen too many. I mean, I've had the chance to cover it. This is probably my 6th or 7th series of covering Anubis, and I've never seen a really solid, comfortable sort of CT side put up. It always seems like it's a bloodbath, and it's very, very messy to make it work in your favor. So I'm interested to see whether Lynn Vision have sort of learned from their previous mistakes and whatnot, and are able to find some form, find some success. Well, I mean, mate, we're gonna have to wait and see. This is the way we get to really kind of understand how they set up, because from our prior knowledge, apparently they've had some rough times in the past.
Early spray down coming through then. Nothing really being found. Eruption playing a much slower looking T side. Also, 3 out on towards B, so Lynn Vision going for kind of a different hold. Understanding how important that E-box area can be if you lose control of it. They've got a guy permanently posted up on it at the moment. And Eruption just have no idea what to expect by the looks of it. However, Fury can be the first to open up once again down below, right? They will get the trade in, though. The CT side live to fight another day. Star going to be left low. It was nearly a double, it would appear, from Fury 5k.
Falling back as well. Don't want to take too much of a push here. They don't want to be taking too much contact like that. A swing, X-Pro or 4. Great shot coming in. And now once again, things not looking comfortable at all. I mean, post one should be set up here, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, this is kind of rare, though. Westmelon's pushed out of main and now has them really pinned in this 3v3. Yami's holding middle for the rotations. Westmelon, though, continues to find heads and is just being so annoying. And you can see Yami kind of panicking, has to give his position up, gives all the info away as well. I think he will definitely have been heard running away from mid there. There is a kit available in the hands of Amelia. The last Molotov for the T side goes down. Still only 2 of them. There's not a lot of time left on this bomb. They've got to move fast for the rest of the retake. Shinobi takes 1. The bomb ticking away. The kills will come in. It's got to be Amelia on the bomb. She does indeed have a kit, so it's all good in the end. But that was awfully close. Still, though, Westmelon getting himself out. A really, really nice mid-round move.
And it does mean that we can start having a little bit of a, comfort over Lynn Vision on their CT side. That was really actually not bad at all. I mean, while a lot relied on Westmelon wrapping back around and getting some information, but without him, that could have been quite dicey. And once again, I think this side is so often, or more often than not, for Lynn Vision, they have to call upon the experience of your Westmelons and well, the raw fragging ability of Starry, of course, time and time again. But we're liking the work Amelia's been putting in. Really making a difference. Entry pathing has been fantastic. So is the supporting util. I think for Eruption, they need to be careful. There's a world in which this can start to slip away from them before they even know it.
Outside A, Shinobi will go. Constantly changing the setup. No one around mid for Lynn Vision. 3 on A. So I think the way that they're playing their defense, it looks like to me, is pick an area and make sure it's well defended. And then maybe sacrifice control of a different area. Go aggressive in that same area. As you can see on your minimap, the 1-for-1 there just outside of A. Meanwhile, we've got Coolest trying to make noise in at B. Zaka sticking around only on the Deagle. Bit cheeky from him, but he really wants the AWP, I think.
Ooh, okay. All right, well, a bit of a setup here. Potentially a bit of a bloodbath coming through on the other side. X-Pro will tuck himself in. Spam coming through could be nice, but Dobu will find Zaka. Oh, looking good. Oh, he's been hurt. He's been hurt. He's been spammed out. This is getting messy, but a reload has to come through.
Wow. Yeah, risky. Very risky from Yami, I think, to go for that by himself. He leaves himself incredibly vulnerable here. Meanwhile, Westmelon above the top of the smoke. Dobu looking to try and find the frag, the entry that they so desperately need here. On the T side, going to get it. Allows that bomb to go down, so I don't know. I think you may be just safe here. I don't think that they've got the win on this one, to be honest with you. There is a kit available, but X-Pro's half HP. Despite his 2k, the B bomb site still falls. It speaks to that T-sidedness that we're sort of feeling out here over the handful of maps that we've seen played at the top level and a couple of them down in the tier 2 as well. Yeah, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous stuff as Eruption will find number 8 just about.
And of course, just a call to save and a call to kind of keep hold of what they've got started, trying to play a little bit of an exit here. I don't think he'll be given too much to work with. No one really parting out his way. Back in towards spawn for the T side. Yeah, Eruption are making this competitive on the way out. And again, this kind of leans back in towards our conversation around how this can be quite heavily weighted over towards that T side at times. And Eruption start to find a bit of that snowball effect. The same way apparently they did over towards IHC. We could see yet another upset where we go in towards Overpass, similarly towards our first series, with Lynn Vision being a map down and having to kind of reverse sweep their way to success. I mean, it's really a bloodbath to fight and find success here. So I think a lot of people actually probably would have come into this similar towards in our first series and said, hey, Lynn Vision, better team, bigger names. These names carry a lot of weight behind them. That'll be fine. And I mean, it's showing how even this region is.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Starry, though, going to find a big double here with one of the saved AKs. Got to bear in mind that these are still in action. So a 3v3 with the bomb at their feet now, Kai. What has happened here from Eruption? X-Pro's on the way. They might as well, right? The bomb's there. This is a mess. E-Box going to be the big spot. It really is. Fury's moving in. Starry's watching for it. Does Starry have a good angle on it? That's sort of the question here. Peeks round. Info's in. You got to move fast now. You got to pick one. Down he goes. USB can't find the trade for it, unfortunately. Zaka going to fall. It's all onto X-Pro against 3. Good for 1, but that's all. It's going to be a 9th for Eruption, and they'll be counting their lucky stars. That looked like it was very doable for just a second there.
It did, right? I think, you know, they can even take the silver linings of it being expensive and all of the niceties around it, but all in all, sort of what matters most is you can say a couple of kills, but it's still ticking over in favor of Eruption in sort of the way it should have been in towards that one. Now, of course, football's out both the ways. Orps in play too. Interesting to see how this one pans out. Of course, Coolest has been quite considerable with the Orp, where for maybe Zaka a little bit on the quieter side, a little bit less impactful. I think for Zaka generally today, slow in the AWPing department. I think he's actually been a little bit more scary than the rifles, to be honest, but just gonna make it work. And we saw the double AWP worked really well in towards that first half in the hands of Eruption. Not something being wielded just yet, but Starry will find the first.
Yeah, and the second. Gonna get a king double. Pretty massive stuff for Lynn Vision to hold on to their lead, because if they'd lost this round, it would have been lead slipping away. I think that was aggressive outside of A by the looks of things. Very, very slow here. Yami and Dobu looking for the mid control. I mean, you can give it at this point. You've just got such a man advantage that you can indeed give it away.
Very quiet now. Sort of pumping the brakes just a tad, the T side. I mean, what a decision here. All 5 alive over towards Lynn Vision. They're just sort of happy to kind of play a bit of a buddy system here, right? X was really the only isolated fight, which maybe could crack open some space background towards B, but of course the U2 is making its way towards A. Does X-Pro even understand, or is he aware? Well, there's 2 players here now, and X-Pro will come on the top. Yami falling. He's down to 2. Adobu, Shinobi, this is a brutal position for them to be in. Yes, they'll find 1, but it's only 1. It's a consolation kill. And back in, you know, some victorious ways for Lynn Vision, back in the kind of the driver's seat, and maybe potentially on the path of seeing off this map. And if they do, then we look over towards, for a large majority, how good Lynn Vision's overpass was earlier against Renewal, who I've got to give them credit again. They were very, very strong all the way throughout. So this then sets up the conversation around the potential of a 2-0, right? So I think for Eruption, this kind of feels like a bit of a needs win.
Amelia going to be the only one holding on this A bomb site, it looks like. Execute coming round, although kind of slow. Maybe trying to sell somewhat of a fake here. Oh. Flash nearly gives him away. Nade on towards the pillar. Is it going to be a double nade? I think it is. Amelia's got to be careful. In come the nades, and down she will go. Might have even been 3 to make sure that she absolutely fell. Starry going to get tagged up. Uh-oh. X-Pro holding from the top angle here. Oh, not even going to get one. I thought he was good for the one instantly traded. Zaka on a triple might have made it doable. If only somebody else had chimed in, this round would have been saved. However, it's got to be Westmelon to save it. 2 Tech-9s he's up against. Oh, the bomb. He drops the bomb. Got a minute to play around with, though. I mean, this is not going to be easy. Fury, how does he find this trade, though, without giving his kind of position away? Finds an A1S. Working around the smoke into a secret spot. You can plant around there. Is he going to try and go for it? Is he just going to bide his time? It feels like he's going to bide his time for a little while here. They are both just playing so very patiently. Westmelon to save a key round for Lynn Vision here. Look at the money. It's so important. In comes Fury up close, and he will be the first to strike. Westmelon's patience pays off. What a massive round from him and Zaka to bail them out.
He continues to step up, Westmelon. I mean, you know, he's not really looked upon on this side as being the one who makes a difference in terms of, you know, the fragging department, so to say. But time and time again, he's always finding this sort of this ability to step up, you know, be the difference maker and be someone in a clutch factor who always is so cool, calm, collected, level-headed. I really got to respect him for it. That's really well played. Really, really well played. Now, Flash is coming through. Look at the space being created here. Coolest needs to be careful. He's got the bomb in hand. He nearly gets spotted too.
Oh, he had the right idea. Had the right idea, did X-Pro. Unfortunately, not able to execute cleanly enough. Going to get the nade in. They're not there anymore. They were, but they're not. Either way, Westmelon's pushed down outside of B main. It's all over the place. Lynn Vision feeling really confident. That's what I'm thinking in this one. Maybe a bit unsure what they're up against as well. So maybe that's part of the confidence of these pushes, of these peaks, of these plays. Calder's going to be the first meeting. He will go down. Dobu doesn't even see the light of day on that one. Westmelon's going to be trapped, however. Needs somewhere to escape to. And thank goodness the smokes come down and they will indeed be able to escape.
Bit of a gap. Tad bit of a gap. Westmelon, nice nades come through. And some damage. But overall, still in a position where we look towards this side and we're thinking, how are they going to make this work? Oh, Fury 5k falling. That does make it quite uncomfortable. What's the call to arms now? His numbers are already kind of starting to dwindle just a tad.
Yep, down goes another. Just Yami and Dobu now. I don't think anything's going to happen for these guys. Really tough to break into this B bomb site, especially when they are down. They have no info, as you can see. But look how dynamic the kind of setup has been as the round has gone on. They find early frags with their aggression and then push back once they've found those kills. Just onto Yami, getting flanked out, finished off. Lynn Vision hitting 14, looking really decisive here now.
It's now getting quite worrying, right? Because we know how good Lynn Vision can be on overpass. I think they have a really good ability to kind of see games in their favor and, well, I mean, you know, really just get a lot of big control over how things should run overall. I'm somewhat concerned, right? Where I'm looking towards Eruption and thinking this might already sort of be done and dusted and might be, well, a position where it's a one-sided affair. This has been some fantastic work coming through from Lynn Vision. They've looked, you know, considerably the better side at times. And for Eruption, while we've seen moments of brilliance, you know, kind of flash in the pan, it's never been consistent. It's never been, you know, being able to compete. It does make me wonder what happened over towards our... It does make me wonder what happened to us the previous game, right, of IHC. Or what happened to IHC? Maybe they just had a really bad performance and everything looked kind of really, really rough. Just to mention, for some reason, I don't know if you noticed that, but
I did.
MIQ just joined our server. So I know everyone at home, you may be looking at this and thinking the HUD's a bit messed up. Yeah, it's because MIQ just joined our server, and that has now just destroyed the HUD. So apologies for the error there, but
I think he must have used the old IP, joined the server, because their game, I guess, must have finished over there or something.
Yeah,
and he's kind of joined the server. Then I'll go have my toilet break and get some food or whatever, and he's just left his computer on, I think. It is being sorted. Do not worry. We are, you know, we have contingency plans for all this and active admins and all that good stuff as well, so... Very funny, but it has been dealt with, and we will be back into the action momentarily. Hopefully the HUD starts to play ball with you over there now. You can focus
the HUD struggles when it sees 11 people in the server.
I can imagine. I don't think it
doesn't really know where to put everybody. So of course, ladies and gents at home, apologies. The HUD is looking a little bit funky and fresh right now. It's because MIQ joined and then of course quit. He joined on towards that CT side, and then obviously the HUD has no idea. It's no longer just watching Lynn Vision. It's Lynn Vision plus MIQ. What is that team? Who knows? So overall, sort of out of our hands there. Exactly. Shinobi will fall though early doors on a bad shot from Coolest Westmelon. Following the same soup that all been put to very good work, and when we called upon Zaka for being maybe a little bit on the weaker side, he's looking all right now. And now, of course, it's left down to just 2 Yummy and Fury pistols to do not a lot of damage, it seems.
No, they are going to be dealt with pretty easily. So, wow, that's a hell of a peek coming in from Yummy, to be honest. Jesus Christ. Probably one of the best deke shots we've seen all day if you've been tuning in for both games. First of all, thank you. Second of all, hopefully you agree with me. That was a hell of a shot, but not going to be worth an awful lot. Maybe you get it in there, on the frag movie, but doesn't make a difference on the server. 15-9. Lynn Vision looking set and ready. The 4th and final timeout for Eruption. Really wanting to give this their best college try, but Lynn Vision, they are on that other level. We talked about the first matchup, and I think it definitely plays a part here that they are just really warm. And I don't know, unexpected in the first game. Perhaps they came into today just thinking that playing their own game should be enough. They've had to edit across, they've had to change a little bit, and these changes have helped them massively against Eruption.
Yeah, and so speaking of changes, the HUD is now also fixed. It's figured out that this is Lynn Vision, not Lynn Vision plus MIQ, and we're all good. So I apologize for kind of the few rounds where it wasn't working because, well, when a player from another team joins onto Lynn Vision, as you can imagine, it does get a little bit confusing. The code is trying to figure out what's what. But hey, we're all good now in the latter stages at 15-9. It's looking like Lynn Vision on a real road to seeing stuff quite comfortably. And actually, I think, Scrib, when we think about it, this is actually what we expected to see from Lynn Vision in the first series, but maybe didn't. So maybe they're just, slow starting and take a while to get going. Starry, great double to open things up. I don't know, Scrib, this might be all she wrote.
Yep, looking like that's going to be the case. The B-Bursters are over here. There's a couple players ready to go. One in towards Glyph. A very scary angle. Support's coming in. Of course it is. They're so very confident. Maybe Coolest is going to be given an opportunity. Oh, not.
GG.
Westmelon had that smoke down on purpose. 16-9, and indeed, GG's all around. It's looking a lot more like what we expected here. Lynn Vision making mincemeat, especially in that second half. Absolute mincemeat out of Eruption.
That's it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to throw us onto a break. When we are back, map number 2 is coming up next. Overpass. We'll see you all very soon.